An old man who grows up with his pets until he gets sick and makes a surprising last wish.
But before we start, please make sure to subscribe to Did You Know and hit the bell so you never miss an upload from us. Also, leave a like right now.
Dogs are known to be man's best friend, and this will remain a lifetime truth. They're kind, trustful, and most importantly, they're faithful. Nowadays, their disappointments from the personal experiences we get from our relationships with friends or lovers are so many. So when we find a pet who will always be there for us, our appreciation for that would be extreme. Martini Robert is a young man who grew up in a big house with his big family. They're used to dogs being around and being a part of the family, and this made Martini attached to his pet since he was a child. When he got married with the love of his life, he brought his two favorite dogs to live with them in their new shared house of town. Life for Martini seemed so fine. He had his beautiful wife by his side and his dogs around, until the day his life changed completely. His marriage failed and he had to stay alone in a foreign town to deal with his sorrow by himself. However, something that he did never expect happened to him and made him realize the true worth of his pets. Martini was surprised to see his dogs becoming way kinder than before since he started to live alone. They would jump on him from happiness each time he comes home from work, and they insist on playing with him more than usual. The young man noticed that his dogs are aware of what's happening to him. The dog lover was lucky enough to have his animal friends comforting him in a tough period that seemed with no end. He kept feeling sick and not well. Another surprise knocked on the door. The female dog got pregnant, and he was surprised to know the number of dogs he would have in his house. Of course, there was no way he'd let them in a shelter. He's a huge dog lover, so he arranged his house to welcome them in. After a couple months, Martini was diagnosed with blood cancer. The news wrecked him. His health got quickly ruined, and the first thing that came to his mind while he was in the last stages was his dogs. In a town far from his home, all he needed was his family. He knew nobody would take care of the dogs more than the people who were used to take care of a lot of them. His last wish was a promise from someone to take good care of the ones who were there for him through the tough times, the ones he loved the most. The bond between humans and dogs has lasted thousands of years and has even shaped the way our brains have developed. Our companions affect us in a surprising amount of ways. We can learn so many things from a dog's behavior, personality, demeanor, resiliency, and most importantly, the willingness to provide their family members with unconditional love, loyalty, and companionship down to their very last breath. With everything that dogs do for us, it's no wonder they've been nicknamed man's best friend. They're a part of the family once they entered the house. The only creatures that are evolved enough to convey pure love are dogs and infants. Johnny Depp.